everyone, and welcome to TWF Collision or Hit. I, Tony Schiavone, with Joey Styles, and with Montel Vertadius Porter. And today on Collision or Hit, we have, a good show here today. Yesterday on Collision or Hit, we saw Belasca and Kevin Owens have another match. And this time Kevin Owens won the match due to Belasca having a match thrown out, Tony Schiavone said, by hitting him back first into the ring. Well, you got that right, Tony. The whole Belasca-Kevin Owens war, which started towards the end of this week, and we saw both of them have a match, and both of them want to harm each other. Who started it? Well, with Kevin Owens. Who's going to end it? I guess it would be Belasca. Well, I could tell you right now, I'll tell you right now, Tony and Joey, the only one I truly think is going to end this is when Kevin Owens either harms Belasca so badly, or Belasca harms Kevin Owens so badly. That's how I truly see, this coming to an end. Now, to tell you the truth, at the end of the day, I do not know how it's going to come to an end. But I have a belief how I think it's going to come to an end. But I don't know, Montel Vertadius Porter says, but I think that Belasca's, the one who did the wrong. Well, how do you think that? Tony Schiavone says, at the end of the day, when it was Kevin Owens, it was Kevin Owens, who started it. Tony Schiavone says, yeah, it was Kevin Owens that started it, Joey Styles says, so he would be in the wrong. Alright, Drew McIntyre says, since everybody's so worried about, the Pennsylvania Reich winnings, you think they'd be worried about the Allegheny share winnings, which is held by Melina Perez. Yeah. The one that got started years ago. So, the way I look at it is that is that I think I should go for that strap. So, Melina Perez, you don't know who you're going to be fighting? You're going to be fighting me. So, why don't you come out here now? Because I want your strap. Oh. So, Drew McIntyre, you want my strap. You want the TWF Pennsylvania. You want the TWF Allegheny share winnings, huh? Because you saw Kevin Owens and Belasca start warring, and somehow in your mind, you think in your mind that you make a great Allegheny share fighter. Hey, and don't be playing that you really truly care about this strap, when at the end of the day, I know you don't. Oh, don't tell me what I don't know. Everybody likes to make such a big thing about the Pennsylvania Reich winnings, and then they forget about the Allegheny share winnings. And I think I'll take that away from you, and I think I'll make a greater Allegheny share fighter than you ever be. Hey, if that's right, Drew McIntyre, is that right? Hey, let's get a fight. You want to wrestle? You want to fight? Because at the end of the day, I'm the one that's going to... Shit. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to beat you. Well, this match is for the TWF Allegheny Share winnings. First, he is Drew McIntyre, and she is the TWF Allegheny Share fighter, Melina Perez. Well, first off, Tony Schiavone said Melina Perez has not won, hasn't put her TWF Allegheny Share winnings on stake not very long ago. Oh, and Drew McIntyre just took her down with a body slam. A clothesline and a body slam. Well, that's right, Joey Styles said, but Melina Perez is a former two-time TWF. She's a former two-time World Heavyweight fighter and had her wars with Lord Zed going back in 2007, YL. Joey Styles said, that was the same year I came to the Toy Wrestling Gathering. Yeah, you're right about that, Montel Vertades Porter said, but that was then, this is now, and Drew McIntyre's going to end up beating her, you know, and the World Heavyweight winnings, well, that's done. Oh, and a Claymore kick, and down goes Melina Perez. That was then, this is now, and the World Heavyweight winnings has been withdrawn. And soon, Melina Perez will no longer be the TWF Allegheny Share fighter. Well, I want to know, Joey Styles says, I want to know, Tony Schiavone said, what do you got against Melina Perez as a TWF Allegheny Share fighter? I don't have anything against her, Montel Vertades Porter said. I'm just saying she's going to lose. I'm just saying she didn't put her strap on stake and she's going to lose. We'll have to see if that's going to happen or not. We're going to see if that's going to happen or not. Tony Schiavone said they can get the 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and well, only a 2. So, no, that did not happen. And now Drew McIntyre. Oh, Melina Perez just came back and took down Drew McIntyre. Tony Schiavone said Melina Perez never drop kick. The former the two-time WWE Women's Heavyweight fighter and former two-time lead WWE lead woman heavyweight fighter taking down Drew McIntyre. And now Drew McIntyre's in a bind now, Tony Schiavone said, of his own making. Yes, he is, Joey Styles says, and Melina Perez is going to be, hopefully, it's not going to lose her strap without a fight, Joey Styles says. And Drew McIntyre, I think he's had enough. Oh! Well, Drew McIntyre's, had enough of this shit. And then Melina Perez, she got him. She's rolling him up. Come on. You can't let Melina Perez beat you. Montel Vertades Porter says, that's not right. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, and still the TWF Allegheny Share fighter, Melina Perez. Well, Melina Perez is still the TWF Allegheny Share fighter, and Drew McIntyre is not going to be happy about that. He's not going to be happy about that. Tony Schiavone says, no, he's not going to be happy about that at all. Joey Styles says, he's going to be hurt, or angered over it. But he really doesn't got anything to be ashamed of because he did have a good match. Joey Styles says, oh, he's got some things to be ashamed of. Montel Vertades Porter says, like, 1, he didn't win the Allegheny Share winnings, and 2, he's not going to get that, get that speaker call from the head leadership wicker of Allegheny Share, Sarah Cicero, and we can guilt Melina Perez for that one. That's right. Allegheny Shearers only had 4 head leadership wickers, you know. But anyway, Tony Schiavone says, I don't think, at the end of the day, Tony Schiavone said, I guess that's going to be Drew McIntyre's loss then, that is not going to happen anytime soon. Well, he might not be winning the Allegheny Share winnings. He might not be, might not get that thank you call from the head leadership wicker of Allegheny Share, Sarah Cicero, though. But he's got nothing to be ashamed of, at all. He had a good match, Joey Styles says. Well, you got that right, Tony Schiavone said. Now we're going to shift everything over to Michael Cole. Well, thank you, Tony and Joey. I'm going to be talking with Melina Perez here today on Collision or Hit. All right, Melina Perez, you seem to how you had your match. Oh, shit. Up! Stand up. Well, you seem to have. Oh shit! Oh, all right, here we go. Too far, too near. All right, you seem to have your match with Drew McIntyre, and you wanted your Allegheny Share winnings. But why do you think that happened? Well, first off, Michael, I don't know Drew McIntyre's mind. I don't know why he wants to be the Allegheny Share fighter. I don't know why that he wants to make a big deal about it. And yes, I didn't put the Allegheny Share winnings on stake. That's not my call. But I beat Drew McIntyre, so no one can say I didn't put it on stake. So Drew McIntyre, yeah, I know you're pissed off about not being the TWF Allegheny Share fighter. I know that somehow pisses you off as much as not being the TWF heavyweight fighter, or whatever. You want to tell you something right now? I have dealt with creeps like you before. So, you ain't nothing outstanding there. Well, Melina Perez, are you worried that Drew McIntyre might make a war out of this, or make a wrong out of this? If he chooses to make a war out of it or wrong out of it, that's his call. But at the end of the day, I hope he doesn't, because it would be kind of dumb of him to start something out of this match. I beat him fair, and I didn't do any unfair things. I didn't cheat or anything. He wants there another match with me. Well, I'll just have to beat him again like I did today. Well, everyone does know back in the day, Melina Perez, when you first came to the Toy Wrestling Gathering, you were involved in a war with Lord Zed at the time, who was the main overseer of the TWF, and you and him warred over the World Heavyweight winnings. Yes, that's true, Michael Cole. It's on a disc. You can go back and watch it. Like I said, dealing with truth, I did. And like I did back then, I did now, dealing with creeps like Drew McIntyre wasn't anything outstanding. If I had to deal with Lord Zed at that time, then dealing with Drew McIntyre isn't bad either. I beat Lord Zed the same way that I beat Drew McIntyre. So if he wants to start something, well, I'll be ready for it. Well, that's my talk with Melina Perez. Back to you, Tony Schiavone and Joey Styles. Well, thank you, Michael Cole, for talking with Melina Perez here today on Collision or Hit. And that's all the time we got here for Collision or Hit. I, Tony Schiavone, with Joey Styles and Montel Ricadius Porter. We hope you like Collision or Hit, and we'll see you tomorrow for Power or Might.